Welcome to Mosse Cyber Security Institute's YouTube channel. My name is Benjamin Mosse and I'm the founder of the Institute. Today, I would like to share with you what you need to do to prepare a CV that's going to help you land an interview in the cybersecurity industry. First and foremost, there are some of you out there, particularly people that are absolutely genius technical-wise, that hate CVs and that think that CVs are absolutely pointless. Let me just explain to you what the purpose of a CV is. The purpose of a CV is that basically it's your first impression with any employer that you're going to contact. In other words, when they're going to look at your CV, they're going to make their minds about who you are as an individual based on the CV they receive before anything else. Before they meet you in person, if they even give you a chance to meet with you in person. And the CV is really something that is part of what I would call the language of business. And if you want to have a career in cybersecurity or elsewhere, you actually need to put some effort into learning and mastering the language of business, not just the language of IT. And so the first time you draft a CV, in my opinion, to do it properly, it should probably take you 8 to 12 hours worth of work if you've never done this before. Now, of course, if you have nothing to write on your CV because it's your first job, well, fair enough, it's probably going to be just a one-page CV. But a lot of the CVs that I receive, honestly, are not polished enough to even warrant a first interview. And the people may be great, but they do such a badly first impression that they don't necessarily receive a chance to go to the next level of the interview process. And so the first thing that I really want to impart to you is the importance of writing excellent English in your CV. You should have absolutely zero typo. You should have full sentence structures with a pronoun, a verb, not just bullet points. If you have your career history, you should properly write what you've done, what your role was about, and so on and so forth. There's nothing, that's more of a turn off than get a CV where the first line of the bio has a typo. Actually, there is something that is even more of a turn off to that, which brings me to my second point, which is you should never, never, never copy CVs from the internet. I'll say that again. Do not freaking copy CVs from the internet, okay? The second thing that an employer is going to do once they've picked up the typos in your CV is to grab some random sentences, punch them into Google, only to discover that basically you've copied some templates from the internet. Again, you're doing a really poor first impression if that's what you do. So again, don't copy from the internet and write absolutely excellent English, okay? And if you think that's hard, well, I've had to do this. Everybody that's in the industry has had to do this, and so you have to do it yourself as well. Fourthly, I want to talk about your bio. So most CVs will have certain areas where you get a chance to write about yourself. What's important here is not to write something that you think somebody else is going to want to hear, but is actually for you to tell us about yourself. We want to get to know you as part of this first impression. We want to get some glimpses into the kind of person that you are so that we can confirm whether we're the right business for you, and we can then give you some feedback and actually confirm whether this employment relationship would be a good match for everybody. And so you absolutely need to put a lot of time and effort into describing the kind of person that you are, what are your qualities, what are your strengths, what are your values, what do you do outside of work, and where do you want your career to be? Where do you see yourself maybe in 3 years or in 5 years? All of this really needs to be well communicated. Now I want to talk about the career history section of the CV. You need to include every single piece of information. We need to know the title you had, the company you worked with, from what date to what date you worked there, what was your role, what did you accomplish there, what did you learn there, and very importantly, why did you decide to leave? Employers will often look at CVs and see that somebody changes job every year or every 18 months, and that sends a very bad message to them. They say to themselves, this person just wants to come here, get a pay rise for 10K, and then in 1 year's time, he's just going to go and work for my competitors just to get a pay increase again. Whereas what we're looking for is we're looking for loyalty. We're looking for people who want to join the team, be part of the mission, and accomplish that mission for many, many years. And so, as part of your career history, you have an opportunity to actually explain what you've learned, how much effort you put into your career, and why you may be a team player if you're one. Also, now I want to talk about the skills section. The skills section is where you list all the technical skills you've got. And I want to say this up front, do not lie. It's better to list less skills and then for you to explain what you're doing about acquiring more skills than to put on your CV that you can write assembly, write C, write C++, write Golang, and then we're going to throw at you a technical assessment to see whether you can write something in C and you can't even compile a program in C. That just shows to us that you are a liar, and nobody wants to hire liars in their team, okay? So don't lie. Be honest about where you are, where you want to be, the kind of company you're looking for, why you're interested in joining that particular company that you're applying with. Come from a place of honesty, and people will be much more likely to give you a chance. You also need to include references in your CV from previous employers as well as, friends and family. And previous employers are really important because when a previous employer or a previous manager actually agrees to be your reference, it sends a message that you've left in good terms and that this person still respects you and that they would still be ready to do business with you given the opportunity to do so. So if you don't have any references, often that's a red sign unless it's your very first job that you're applying for. You also need to include visa information, okay? Employers will want to know, hey, can this person work full-time? Or are they a student on a student visa and they can only work 20 hours a week? Are we going to need to sponsor them? State all of this up front in your CV, okay? Now, I also want to give you some tips about the letter that you should include as part of your CV when you apply for a job. Again, problem number one is that a lot of people go online and they basically grab a template and copy-paste it, hoping they're not going to be found. And they are missing on an incredibly big opportunity here, which is for you to communicate to an employer why you are applying to join their team. What was it that you saw about them online or that you heard through the industry colleagues maybe and connections that you've built with your friends that makes you believe that this is the company you want to be part of? And I also want to say something to a lot of beginners here. A lot of people who are applying for their first job say that one of the reasons why they want to join a company is to learn. Well, I hate to break it to you, but nobody wants to teach you. Until you've proven that you can be a good student, nobody will want to be your mentor. Okay? Nobody is going to give you a free ride. It's up to you to put in all the hard work with your CVs, with online exercises where you practice, maybe through our online learning platform, by having open source project, by writing an excellent resume, by helping other students and maybe being part of a cybersecurity club where you teach and you talk about cybersecurity. It's up to you to put in the hard work. If you're not ready to actually be somebody that is a student, a real student of information security, not just somebody who's registered at university, but somebody who actually applies themselves to learning the field, and nobody will want to be your mentor. So I know that in this video I've probably been very harsh, but I just want to give you the cold truth about what it takes to get in. And once you know, you have a chance to take the right mindset, the right approach, have the right work ethics, and you know what will be expected of you, to be able to be given a chance to work with amazing cybersecurity teams. So thank you very much for watching. Okay, hit the bell button, hit the subscribe button. I know that sometimes in my videos I'm a bit tough, but I do it because I want to help all of you. So thank you very much for watching and see you soon on our YouTube channel.